Okay, so in this video, we're going to quickly review what you guys took home yesterday and the materials in the book bag. So in the pencil bags, you have pencils, both sharpened and unsharpened. For the unsharpened ones, you do have a pencil sharpener in there. There are cap erasers for the tops of the pencils, bigger erasers, dry erase markers, crayons, and little spot stickers. So those are those gold stickers. You can set aside, those are going to be for activities when we read a little spot books each week. So I just put them in there for transport purposes. And then you do also have a ruler that you can set aside when we do the measurement unit in math. If we're not back to school physically, I wanted to make sure that they had that. Okay, in the black folder, that's where you guys filled out forms. And then again, those are the login codes for Seesaw, Prodigy, Lililo, Epic, and Boom cards, which you can also find on our Google Classroom under Classroom Essentials and on our Classroom website. The number one priority now is to kind of play around with Seesaw and get your child logged on, because that is something that we will use day to day as we get going. Prodigy and Epic, again, they're not maybe something we'll use the first week or right away, but we will be using those as we get going once in a while. And Lililo and Boom cards will be eased in as we go. So you're welcome to sign them on and kind of get them accustomed to those apps, but they're not necessarily our number one priority at the moment. And there's also a one-sheeter on Google Classroom in there. Don't focus as much on the more complicated things. That's going to be more for older students. We're not going to use Google Classroom in quite the same way. We're using it in a more basic format. So don't worry about everything on that sheet, but it's just to help with like logging in and, accessing Google Meets and things like that. Okay, the white folders have the Flipgrid assessment materials. So you might have seen on the classwork page of Google Classroom, and I'll play this little video. It doesn't have sound, but it shows you where they are. So when you click on classwork in our Google Classroom, when you log in, scroll down and you see reading assessment, Flipgrid codes, math assessment, Flipgrid codes. So all you do is say you click on the lowercase letter assessment and you click on the code after you read those instructions. You would get out the lowercase letter recognition pages of the white folder. Have them in front of your student. You would click join with Google. It doesn't show it to you here what I do, but all I do is type in the login info of one of our students. So type in your student's JZoo email and password. And then once you're logged in, you will see the assessment pop up. You might see other students' assessments that are done. Right here, we see Safi's assignment is already uploaded. You'll just click on that record a response button, and what you'll do is just make sure they are recording the paper itself, and they're just pointing to each letter. So when they read a story, they'll be pointing to the story, and with the math recognition sheets, they'll be doing the same thing. The video will be strictly of the paper, not of them. These are not tests for grades. They are just so that we can simply group them in the best ways possible to challenge them as we get going and track progress in the best ways. In the purple folder, this is called pocket work. So all that means is when I prompt them to do that, I will tell them exactly which worksheet to get out. They'll slide it in that folder, and they'll use their dry erase markers. This just preserves those skill practice sheets so that they don't do them and they're once and done. We can use them multiple times. We can utilize them during different topics or different stories in ELA as we get going. And we may use these during reading groups, math groups, for free time. You could use them as extra supplemental practice when you desire. But like I said, so this will just preserve those practice sheets so that we can use them again and again. The blue folder and green folder, those books did not come in yet. So what I did was I made some copies of the pages from what would be their handwriting workbook, and I put those in the blue folder. So anytime I say, okay, get out your blue folder, we're going to be doing handwriting practice, we will let you know when those books come in. And the green folder on the left-hand side is what would have been our Journeys soft reader. That is the workbook we use during school time. So do not, I would stay away from using those sheets outside of class time because when we go to use them in class, and if they're already done, the student won't have anything to do. So left side of the green folder is for class time only. And the right side of the folder is for homework purposes. And I will always let you know what exactly you need to do. But there are the first 5 stories worth. So that means the first 5 weeks worth are included. And we will let you know when we will mail the books when they come in, or when you guys will be able to come pick them up. Okay. And then this is just a short little overview of the books that you do have. And you have that